In about around 8, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, if all goes according to plan, a driver will come to my area and present to me my capital that has been stolen from me, or at least a Ford on it. Right now, the trader's former admiral, Mr. McRaven, is doing everything he can to cause fear in whoever he's speaking with, to devalue everything I've done and to devalue my name. To say that, well, he was just dot, 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 just playing or whatever. The last 20 years, Mr. McRaven has violated my rights, tried to assassinate me on several occasions. Once in Texas, that was obvious. Now makes more sense the behavior of the individual when I walked up to him after he hit me. Another time in Phoenix with a semi truck, they boxed me in. A couple other times I now know that didn't make sense, or I thought the guy was just being a jerk, guy or gal. They've hacked my computers, stolen my intellectual property. Also, McRaven can mimic my personality and then say, well, it's not worth it. His real fear has always been that he knew I would find out what he was doing. That him and those few admirals were working to overthrow the Constitution of the United States as Southern secessionist sympathizers. We now know with the 2025 project, these billionaires do not believe in the Constitution. And by the nature of the it externalized antagonistic personality, they can't stop. Pathological. That's why we have the rule of law to confine our behavior for our best individual selves and also the greater good. In essence, it's the balance of the force between greed and selflessness, between giving and taking. We are all giving and we have nothing. If we're all taking, we have nothing. Both lead to the same outcomes, and both destroy civilization. You must want to be able to give to the world to receive from the world. It is famously known. Right now, we have Elon Musk wants to save the world as long as he's the only one to do it. That's, well, we've seen what's happening. His greed is overcome, his selflessness. His whole thing is to set up a colony on Mars, colonize Mars. Well, that's fine, great goal, but not at the destruction of Earth. We live in interesting times. See, McRaven is telling President Biden, "Oh, just push this off. Don't. But he's saying things that are crazy. Well, they know I'm not saying anything that's crazy. But now, then they go, oh, we'll just push it off. We'll just give him a week. And that way we said, yeah, well, we allowed you. I'm not looking to, no. That's not how this works. You don't allow me anything. It's none of your business. You violated my rights, and you're continuing to do so. President Biden is saying, well, I'm trying to get all these votes. That's not what Lincoln said. Lincoln put the republic first. And now, McRaven and the backers, the one percenters, the oligarchs, the persons behind the 2025 consortium, theocratic fascist takeover of the secular country called the United States of America, thinking they'll be able to control Trump or even Biden without the rule of law. Which is fine because then they'll say, "Oh, the Constitution is limited. We'll call the Constitutional Convention, and then we'll just find someone to be emperor." And what always happens? The Senate and the House will turn into a blubbering mess. Democracy will be dead, and maybe it will limp on for a couple hundred years. But they will have their greed. Or we can maintain democracy and build a better future for everyone else, for everyone. We can debate what that better future is, and we can all have a say in it, but we have a say in it, and we are more invested in its future. The former admiral and his backers do not believe in democracy because they don't believe in anyone else. They don't even believe in themselves. They hate everyone because hate is all they are. They believe this holy war between the Muslims and the Jews they're instigating, and then Christianity to come in and pick up the pieces. Jesus will be coming because that's how IEAPs think, back and forth, forth and back. And they won't be here because, well, they'll be raptured away. They'll leave it to those heathens, you know, because they found Jesus when he really did. As the statement goes, careful of those clinging out of your house, then 7 demons return. In McRaven's case, 7 demons have returned. He believes since he used knowledge of metaphysics to control demons, he sold his soul lower energy states. Feminine is the lower energy states, and the masculine is the higher energy states. Combined, they lead to the heart, and the heart leads to the truth. The force is not just feminine, and it is not just masculine. The force is all felt through one's emotions, balanced. See, McRaven and these persons are trying to turn me into some type of religious person. I'm not a philosopher. I think through things, come to my own questions and answers. The reason they need that religious thing is so that what they will then do is then they start throwing stones and saying, see, he's not being perfect. Oh, which implies that they're perfect. They're perfect. That's how the demons work. They don't say he's a bad person, they imply it. They find a negative and then they associate that negative. So people don't realize that they've associated a negative to a person who's actually positive. And now all of their negativity is associated with that person, which implies that they're a good person, knowing they are the actual shiny person. They want me to tell what I'm going to do, and I cannot do that until I have the control. And it is fully in my control, not theirs. It's not going to be, oh, well, we'll make him look, think he's in control. Ah, ah, ah. No, that's not how this will work. Because that if I, if it is in that situation where where they act as if they're still in control, then they will return to where they took everything and tore it asunder and destroyed it. They'll return to their bad behaviors. This is how a lot of times they get away with things. They'll just play pretend, just like a child. If they don't like it, well, I'll just pretend that it didn't happen. And then they'll go back to the same behavior. Future faking, I believe the phrasing is called. The royal family, I want to keep this quite quick. Her Royal Highness Princess Anne, I know that this seems preposterous, but I am not asking you to do, but you are a woman of duty, and I am more than a bit of a rogue. I probably will leave the whole situation in a shambles, more than likely. But at least you'll have pieces to pick back up. What your brother has done is put everyone, your entire family, your brother, your other brothers, your nephews, and the ones they love in danger. And it's not a little danger, it is their life, their lives. I am not one who does hyperbole or histrionics. This is pure logic, not metaphysics. Well, with a bit of metaphysics, but mostly logic. You've already seen the behavior of Camilla. She knows if her networks are broken, it will come to be sown. I am correct. I'm not asking you to go against your duty. That was the brilliance of your mother in this situation. I am asking you to do your duty. I am sorry. I, well, I'm not apologizing for their behavior, but I wish I did not have to do some of the things I will have to do. And yes, the attacks on your brother, King Charles, and your nephew, Prince William, as well as his wife, especially his wife. Well, the attack on his wife, his attack on him, is done on purpose. The malignant persons who, from a metaphysical perspective, are fully demonically possessed know exactly what they're doing, and they do it on purpose. And you felt it. You can't say that, yeah, but I've watched, the world has watched Princess Catherine over the last year become angry and bitter and enraged as Camilla has more and more dumped her negativity. King Charles is trying to say, well, he might survive this bout, but he might not survive the next. She will not stop, and it might be already too late. Prince William, I know this is difficult. Well, as once again you are doing your duty, you're following custom and law. Just it's all upside down and backwards, it seems right now. You have to take care of your life and the country, but I will take care of the country because I have to take care of the world. You have no idea the weight that I feel no matter how goofy I seem to act. If it wasn't for the fact that everyone was always watching, the Grey would have killed me a while ago. That's why I opted for the slow poison and told your father, "Oh, we'll take care of it." And he told you the same thing. But you're also the targets, the entire family, because the royal family has to fall for the Constitution of the United States to fall. The Mohammedans are going to keep coming to try and overthrow Christianity and democracy, which are two inextricably linked ideals, both formed out of congregational thinking, gathering individuals having their own experiences and then coming together to philosophically say, compare, contrast, and learn from each other. Irony, this is how Judaism was back at that time, and this is how Christianity started. Also, as a way, and so Christianity has that individualism, mystery of individual freedom, but at the same time, collective good. The Mohammedans were always warlike, but it was that uniqueness of the one area, which Becca, which is known Becca or Petra, which is more than likely where Muhammad was, where he received his first communication with Gabriel. But the warlike and the demonic entities, they wouldn't listen to him until he lost his light and became like them. And then the Damascus uh, princes destroyed anything that would counter the narrative with death and destruction. So the beauty of Islam became the religion of psychopathy, as we would say today. And we would say psychopathy, in a metaphysical sense, is a demon possessed vessel with a spark of life only there to keep the animating force of that body, or meme entity, to say it, maintain them in present objective states, non religious objective states. Prince Harry, this has been a heck of a ride. I know in your hearts of hearts you want to protect not just your wife and children, but your brother, your aunt, and even your father. We all want our dad's approval, at least as men, and our parents in general. So it is with a heavy heart that I might have to be the most ruthless to them. your father and your uncle. Can they be redeemed? I don't know, but they must be contained one way or the other. I thank you for your support. This has been a weird trip and will continue to be so until my parting breath. The people of the Commonwealth and the world, to America, my fellow citizens, we of the people of the city on the hill, want the freedom that we are so given away, where we are almost no longer free, where it has been chipped away and stolen from us over time out of hatred, where the few have stolen all from the many. There is a difference if we meet man and woman face to face and say, I see the light within you and you see the light within me. Let us converse and come to an agreement for a certain period of time and then come to another agreement. But this is not what has happened. The few of the demonic greed wish to enslave the many. Our corporations do not serve us. Our politicians have been bought. Our representatives, the ones who we say are supposed to represent us and help us live our daily lives so we can put our times to just being our best, to go to work and live life within the way of our choosing, to be part of something bigger and greater than ourselves, while at the same time gathering for ourselves. Everything has been twisted. We know what's wrong, but we don't know what's wrong. We can feel it, but we can't put a finger on it. That's done on purpose. These forces are heading us headlong into the destruction of the world. We as a species will be heading into and are heading into a new age, both of technology and hopefully our humanity, both of which are up to us. We're 5 years out from quantum computers being ubiquitous. We tend to be online 10, 15 years before they're ubiquitous. Whoever gets to the quantum supremacy first will have an edge of immense proportions. And what do we tell our machines? What is human? Are we more than an animal? At this moment, I would love to give a rousing speech to tell you what we are about to do, but it cannot be stated. Not yet, because evil always twists what is good. But I think most of you know what's coming and what will be asked of you. Hopefully, it will not be in blood, but in peace, in the exercise of our God given rights. The government of the people, by the people, and for the people remembers it's us. It is our government. That the people reign free. All of the people reign free in the land of the brave. And to the subjects of the Commonwealth, your freedom is dependent upon the Americans' freedom. For if democracy is lost in the United States, democracy is lost every place else. And we'll return to the days where young men die for old men's greed. But we can change that dynamic and build a world where dreams are made possible, where our best and our worst selves are turned into something glorious and wonderful and beautiful, where our voices are heard and our actions create great works. The time is now. The time is now.